السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد. This is a series of explanation of Al-Qaida An-Nooraniyyah, the Nurani Qaida that we study in Tajweed. This is the first level generally people study. They learn how to pronounce letters, how to connect letters and pronounce words and apply rules when reciting. So inshallah, it's a step-by-step process. There are many things in Al-Qaida An-Nooraniyyah hidden that you need to learn, you need to know in order for you to completely and fully understand the book. This is an amazing book. It is written in kind of code and stuff that if you could crack, you really, if you observe properly when you read, inshallah, you'll enjoy it a lot. And also, if you're going to be a teacher, you'll be an amazing teacher if you teach these things to your student and make them observe these things. Okay, so inshallah, today's lesson is going to be the first lesson of Al-Qaida An-Nooraniyyah. I am Dr. Asiya from Al-Uloom Online Islamic Academy. Inshallah, I'll be teaching and explaining everything that I learned in Al-Qaida An-Nooraniyyah. I have an ijazah in this qaida, and those who are interested in getting an ijazah in Al-Qaida An-Nooraniyyah might contact us on our website, Al-Uloom.net. Inshallah, it is given in the description. Let's start with what is the beginning, the basic of Tajweed. So you need to learn how to pronounce the letters. So this is not a series where I explain the rules of Tajweed all in detail. There is another separate series of lessons coming, inshallah. Stay tuned for that. Those lessons will be Tajweed rules, but inshallah in this we'll just study Al-Qaida An-Nooraniyyah. Okay, so there are two things. First, the way you pronounce the lesson, a particular lesson, and the second thing is what is hidden, like what is different in Al-Qaida An-Nooraniyyah that is not in other books. Okay, inshallah, we'll start. Firstly, I'll read the lesson the way it is supposed to be read. And if there are any differences in opinion as to how to pronounce a particular thing, I'll mention that, inshallah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Now see, bis, scene is clear. Like, don't rush through scene. Don't say Bismillah, Bismillah, Bismillah. Also, don't say Bismillah. You're not supposed to pronounce the P sound here. Don't say Bismillah. Say bis, B, bis. Okay? Like the way you say biscuit. Bismillahi. Don't say Bismillahi. Some people make that mistake, making la like a heavy lam. It's wrong. Say la. Bismillahi. So la. Not like law, not like la, not like la, bismillah. That's also wrong. Say la, bismillahi. Okay? Bismillah. If you could pronounce it with me, it will help a lot. First listen and then pronounce. Bismillahirrahmani. So he and ra. Hirra. Don't say hurra. Some people say Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So they add a dhamma. That's a wrong pronunciation. Say Bismillahirrahman. So ra is a bit heavy and slight vibration. Hirra. Don't say hirr. This vibration is wrong. So hirra. And connect that ra to airy sound of ha. Rah. 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 mani. Okay, ma, not me, not many, like many. May is wrong. Ma. Say ma. Okay. So Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Now in this Al-Qaida An-Nooraniyyah, we do not prolong the ending. We just say Ar-Rahim. That's it. We do not say Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. That is when you recite Quran. But in this Qaida Nooraniyyah, Al-Qaida Nooraniyyah, you're just going to pronounce it without prolonging too much, just like normal Ar-Rahim. Okay? Once again. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Also no tune. Don't say Bismillahirrahmani. Don't give a lot of tune. Al-Qaida Nooraniyyah is supposed to be plain and completely concentrating on the way of pronunciation and the application of the rules of Tajweed. Okay, so try to do that. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. الدرس الأول. Dar, or should be heavy, not dar is wrong. Dar is light. Say dar, heavy. الدرس الأول. حروف الهجاء المفردة. So الدرس is lesson. الدرس is lesson. الأول is first. So this is the first lesson, lesson number 1, or the first lesson. Huruf is letters. Huruf is letters. Al-hija is, the pronunciation, or say connection. So let's say it's like spelling. So, connecting the letters. حروف الهجاء. Do not say huruf, say حروف الهجاء. Ha and ha are separate. So this ha and this is ha. It's slightly squeezed throat and, airy, a bit more airy when compared to ha. Ha is from the deeper part of the throat. So حروف الهجاء. Letters of spelling. So hija, let's call it spelling. Hija means spelling. Al-mufrada. Mufrada yani single, separate, so singular. Mufrada is singular, so each letter is separately pronounced. Okay, each letter is separately taught here for you to understand how they sound and then use them later. So these are the spelling letters, each of them separately and singly pronounced. Okay, so huruful hija'il mufrada. I'm going to repeat that first part again. Ad-darsul awwal. Huruful hija'il mufrada. Alif, ba, ta, tha. I'm going to take a pause here. Alif. It's very easy, inshallah. You can easily pronounce this. But ba, as you can see, a little red colored ba and alif are written there, over there, if you could see that. So that is to give you the way of pronunciation. In other books, if you have studied other qaidas, you probably see ba with a hamza in the end, and you hear a throat closing sound in the end. See, observe. This one is pronounced like ba. So see, in the end, I'm closing my throat. Ba. But here, in Al-Qaida An-Nooraniyyah, I'm not supposed to pronounce it with a hamza. No hamza is written here. So you say ba, ba, and ba. Now, this type with the hamza, is pronounced when you're learning Arabic as a language. When you're learning Arabic language. But when you're learning Tajweed, you pronounce it like ba, not Hamza in the end. So when you learn Tajweed, especially in this idah specifically, there is no Hamza sound in the end. So do not say like ba. That is wrong. Do not close your throat. Just stop the sound in your lungs. Okay? Ba, da, tha. Okay? Continue. Jim. So you prolong the these letters a little bit. Instead of saying Jim, you say Jim. 1, 2, count like that. It would be really good. Ha, ha, ha. Okay, so try to pronounce it with completely air and then add the sound in the end. So you start with and then add sound in the end. Ha, ha. Okay, don't say ha. Like I said, ha is from the deepest part of the throat and it has slight usage of the vocal cords. Whereas for ha, you do not use the vocal cords, you use just the air. Ha, ha. Okay, then you have kha. Now, kha, as you can hear, it does not sound empty mouth. It sounds full mouth. If you observe, it sounds full mouth. What does that mean? I'm not saying ha, ha. I'm saying kha, kha. See the difference? The difference is what I'm doing is I'm raising the back of my tongue and then forming slight pit in the middle of the tongue. That kind of makes it like an echo inside my mouth and gives it a full mouth effect, like kha, kha. Now, it does not have to do anything with the lips. You do not have to circle your lips. Okay, I'm really bad at drawing, but you don't have to circle your lips. You just have to keep your mouth normal, the way you would when you pronounce ha, kha. Just the tongue makes it heavy. So this is the heavy pronunciation, or call it full mouth pronunciation. Okay? If you're confused between what is heavy, then say full mouth. Okay? It's full mouth pronunciation. Kha. I'm going to write the full mouth letters here so you know in the end how many there are. Okay? All right. Kha. So, jim, ha, kha. Also remember, a dot under the head is jim, no dot is ha, a dot on top is kha. And you have dal, dal. Don't say like del, del, eh. That's called taqleel, a little bit of bending of the sound. You want da, not de. And also don't say do, do heavy. Say dal, normal. Dal, dal. For dal, the tip of the tongue touches the upper incisors. So if these are your upper incisors, the tip of the tongue touches this area. For tha as well as dal, okay? For tha as well as for dal, just the tip of the tongue touches the upper incisors, like the way you say this and that. And some people say this and that, but if you slightly bring your tongue out, tip of the tongue, the. So dal, okay? Don't say lol, law. Don't make it heavy. Make it like da, dal, dal. Now this letter here is pronounced a bit heavy, but it has, it is sometimes heavy and sometimes light. So I'm going to write it as heavy or light. Okay. So raw, you pronounce it raw. Now don't circle your lips again the way I said. Heaviness comes from the tongue. Raw, not raw, raw, raw. Okay, so that is raw. Okay, next we have za, like a Z sound, normal. Sin, sheen. Now, do not circle your lips when you pronounce sheen. Okay, not like English. When you pronounce sh sound in English, you tend to circle your lips. But in Tajweed, when you pronounce sheen, you should not circle your lips. Don't circle your lips. Okay, just do normal lips the way you did seen. Same position of the lips when you say sheen, seen, sheen. Okay, don't circle your lips here. Sod. Okay, saw. Okay, don't say so. Don't circle your lips. This is also a heavy letter. Saw. This is sa sound. This is sa, and this is saw. So let's just put something like a bar on top of S to make it like a heavy sound. So sa and saw. Sa, saw. In this case, the entire tongue goes up to the roof of the mouth, and just the tip of the tongue touches the lower incisors when you say saw, sawed. Okay. If you have already studied Tajweed with me or any teacher, or if you've already checked the YouTube videos of the makharij and the way to pronounce it, inshallah, you'll really understand what is happening here when I say the tongue rises up or stuff like that. Okay, so you got sod, bod. Bod is pronounced from either one side or both the sides of the tongue, pressing against the upper molars and premolars, both of them. Okay, so on either side or both the sides. Bod, bod. So this is bod. Don't say like a bod. Some of my younger students say bod like that. Not bod. It's from both the sides of the tongue, from this side or both the sides, one pair of premolars and two pairs of molars on either sides. So if you're using just the right side, you'll press just on the right side. If you're using just the left, you'll press on the left side. If you're using both the sides, press on both the sides. This entire area is touching the upper palate, but you remove the tongue from the sides first, so the sound comes from the sides of the tongue. Now see the difference? Generally people say dod, do, do. So the sound is coming from the frontal part, this part of the tongue, which is wrong. The sound should come on the sides of the tongue. So it's like bo, bo, not do, do. See the difference? Bod, bod. So generally people use the left side of the tongue, but you can use whichever is easier for you. Try to pronounce the sound from the sides rather than from the front. And bod is not like the. I have seen people from the eastern part of the world say that bod is like a wad. That's an accent of a general daily conversation language. We say Ammiya, general accent. But Ammiya is not what we use in Quran. It's Fusha. And we have to exactly use the language and the pronunciation of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Sahaba and Tabi'in and Salafus Salih. Okay, so what we do is we follow them exactly. Even Arabs, those who pronounce Allah as Allah in their daily conversation, they pronounce it as Bod when they recite Quran. Don't say wala dhalin. It is wala dhalin. Bo. Okay? Not va. All right. So sad, bod, ta. So this is very heavy. Some people say it's even the heaviest letter of the Arabic alphabet. Ta. So the way the sound comes is the frontal part of the tongue is completely attached to the frontal part of the upper palate. And when you remove the tongue, you kind of remove it with force, And your entire tongue, if you see from the side, is like this, like going toward the roof of the mouth. It's rising toward the roof of the mouth. So you kind of pronounce it like ball, ball. Again, it is a heavy letter, but you're not supposed to circle your lips for ball, like ball, ball. No circling of the lips when you pronounce a heavy letter. Make it ball, okay? And then you have va. Va is same as zal and fa. Remember the upper incisors and the tip of the tongue. Tip of the tongue touches the upper incisors, not all the teeth, okay? Just the upper incisors, the primary incisors. Okay, so ba, va. Now, ain. This is a tricky one. This is the one where generally people have problem. Ain is pronounced from the middle of the throat. So this is like the epiglottis. This area is squeezed, okay, to pronounce ain, but not closed. If you close this area, if you completely close this area, it kind of sounds like ain, which is what people do. They make it a hamza from the wrong place in the throat. Say ain. Do not close the throat. I'll give you this tip that do not close your throat when you pronounce ain, ain. Okay, just squeeze it slightly. If you are one of those who do not know how to pronounce ain and they get hamza every time they try not to pronounce it by closing the throat. Pronounce it by keeping the throat the way it is, just slightly squeezed. So don't say say ain, ain. Start slowly, ain, ain, and then you can go a bit clearer. Ain, ain. Okay, just do not close your throat. That is the biggest tip you can ever use in pronouncing ain. If you close the throat, it becomes ain. It becomes a hamza. You don't want that. Okay? Ain, oin, ro, not ra. Rain is wrong. Say ro, oin. So it's a heavy letter. The tongue goes up and forms a pit-like structure. So in the middle. So it's like ro, ro. Do not circle your lips again. Oin, fa, qaf. Okay, don't say qaf like a ka sound, like a K sound. Don't make a K sound here. Make qaf, qaf, qaf. So what happens is the back of the tongue rises really up to kind of touch the fleshy palate in your throat, in your like before your throat, the fleshy upper palate, the soft palate before the uvula. Okay, that part. Qaf. Off. Also, this is heavy because see, back of the tongue is going up and the middle is forming slight pit. Off. Don't say qaf. Qa. Qa is light. You want it qa, not qa. Qala, not qala. Okay? And then you have kaf, lam, mim, noon. Okay? Very simple letters. Wow. Okay, about this one, those who speak languages like Urdu or the Persian languages, they tend to pronounce it like a V sound, like a vow, like this. Because in their language, same letter exists, but it is pronounced with a V sound, like a lower lip is touched against the pressed against the upper incisors when they say vow, like that, like wedding vows. Okay, so you don't want va sound, you want W sound. So circle your lips. Wow, like the way you say wow. Same word, okay? And also don't make wow heavy. Don't say wah. Say wah. Open your mouth properly and then just wow. Okay. Hamza. This is the name of the letter, but not the sound. The sound is a, I, o. The closing of the throat, closing of the vocal cords creates Hamza sound. So this is the name of the letter, but not the sound. Hamza, ya, ya. All right, I'm gonna repeat all these things. I'm gonna repeat the entire lesson, and I'm gonna write the heavy letters here. So let's see. Kha was heavy. Ra was sometimes heavy, sometimes light. Sad was heavy. Dad was also heavy. Ta, Va, Ghain, and Qaf. Check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 letters are always heavy. Ra is sometimes heavy, sometimes light. And when you study or when you watch my videos of Tajweed, inshallah, you'll learn all the possible heaviness and lightness scenarios, inshallah. But for now, just know always heavy letters are Kha. Then you have Sad, you have Dad, you have Ta, Va, you got Ghain, and lastly, you got Qaf. These are the 7 letters which are always heavy, no matter what sign comes on them. Fatha, Kasra, Sukun, Dhamma, anything. Okay? All right, let's do this. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. الدرس الأول حروف الهجاء المفردة ألف با تا ثا جيم حا خا دال ذال را زا سين شين صاد, bounce the ending, صاد ضاد طا ظا عين غين فا قاف كاف لام ميم نون واو ها همزة ya. That's all. I hope you have learned a lot in this video, and if there's any mistake, it's either from me or from Shaitan. Allah is pure from anything of that sort, and all the knowledge that I've learned, the knowledge that I pass on to the people is from Allah and Allah alone. All the good comes from Allah alone. Inshallah, we'll wind up here. For the next lesson, stay tuned and go for the next video بإذن سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.